Mr. Dominic Hart, welcome to the sanctuary.
Thanks for having me, mate. Is this your sanctuary?
This is my sanctuary.
It's beautiful. If anyone doesn't know, it's very spacious.
Yeah.
It's lovely. You've added some nice touches on the welcome board. So thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. You, my friend, are a very special human, I think.
Well, that's very nice of you.
And I say that because those videos that you do on YouTube, insane. Like, how long would one of those really long ones take?
Over the span of probably like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But it's just on and off. And some nights it'll be like, oh, you can just ask my family. I'll be out the back till like 11, just editing all day. But yeah, you stop counting. I think I fall in love with the process of it and just stop counting, and it ends up just being weeks out the back in the shed. Yeah.
You said to me before, it doesn't really matter about the views, more so about the importance of just documenting it. Why do you say that?
That's all it ever has been for me. Like in recent, I'm sure we'll talk about, I just gained like a crazy amount of followers, but it's only ever been about documenting and storytelling. And like I only started because I wanted to do that, and I'm still doing it, but now there's like a bit of added pressure or added, external factors on top of that.
Do you think that's good?
I think it's good. It keeps me accountable. It'll be interesting to see where I go from here, because obviously the path is so unclear, and it probably will never be clear. But yeah, no, it's only been ever for documenting, and I would hopefully like to keep it that way. Yeah.
I said to someone the other day, the most exciting part of my journey so far is how unclear it is. I think that's, despite the feelings that come with that, and for someone like you and for someone like me, those feelings can be really good sometimes, I suspect, but they can also feel overwhelming as well. But when you strip it back, as I'm sure we'll go further into today, it quickly becomes a feeling of gratefulness. I think in one of your videos, it was like where it had baby at the end. What was the Justin Bieber song? But you said, what was the letter? It said, what was the first line?
Congratulations. You've escaped the Matrix. Yeah.
So that sort of is a summary of, you're expecting something, but it's the complete other. It's a complete opposite of what you actually expect.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit of an inside joke from a while back. I used to work at Woolworths, and we just call it the Matrix because it's just stacking boxes, and there's no real the reason why I had to get out of there was no human connection in it. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, there was no human connection in it. I feel like, you rock up and you've got your duty, and that's all it is. It's just hours go by. I had to get out of that place, and I guess that's why I wrote that in the letter. But yeah, it's quite funny that I actually delivered the letter of resignation with the Justin Bieber baby lyrics on the end of that run. So yeah.
What was the thought process before you actually took the leap?
It was a build up. It was like, I think the pivotal moment was probably like I just lost it one night. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I was at the kitchen, and I think I was just asking so many questions to mum and my family about like why do I keep doing this? Like what is this? What does this even mean? Like it's just like there is money at the end of the day, but like I just see past it. I'm just like, why am I doing this? And I just broke down into like tears, and like I remember mum just saying, you should probably just leave then. Like, what do you like? This is tearing you apart from the inside. And then, yeah, I think a couple months later, I decided, I was like, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm probably just work it out. Yeah.
Couple of months, you said. So you were, see, I just went through a similar struggle. Like it was a build up, and I called it like a build up of almost belief in a way. That's how I've described it. You know, I knew that the time was right 2 months ago, but it took me 2 months to actually build up the courage. So what were you doing in those 2 months? Was it a struggle in those 2 months?
Not really, because I was sort of, from that conversation, I knew exactly like sort of that I needed to get out of there, and I was. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I think I sort of wanted to make it. I'm sort of, I don't know. I'm a type of guy that wants to go out with a bang, and that's what I did with the whole running an ultra marathon to quit my job. Sort of two things that just don't make any sense, but I put them together and got a few people around it, and it sort of made me have a reason why I could leave and like give it a bit more oomph, have a bit more fun with it, make a video out of it. That's probably what I was doing in the 2 months up to it, just planning.
What were you feeling at the time when you left?
At the time when I left, I was feeling great. I mean, nothing really changed. I walked out of the door and I said, like, there's not much human connection, or, you know, you don't really feel super valued in a place like that. So walking out, there was no real like last hurrah. It was just like, I just walked out. It was like any other shift, but I knew I wasn't coming back. And over the next 2 weeks, I spent a lot of time at home. I think that's when I sort of started to feel like, shit, what am I doing? Got to work it out now. So I did have a few things in place afterwards, but it was a weird time. Still is weird. Yeah.
I remember you saying in a video, there's not a week that goes by that I don't feel scared, like I'm not doing enough, or I feel lost. But all those feelings are human, and that's what you have to understand.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean when you say that? When you said what you said before, sorry?
Yeah. Well, you said as well that, you know, it's always unclear. I don't think it'll ever get any more clear than what it is now. And that's following what I love doing, which is, you know, whatever it is, I know that I'll love doing it if it keeps me up at night, if it gives me that Christmas morning feeling that I like to talk about. And there's so many things that have done that for me in my life, and that's what I'm sort of chasing. And, you know, there's no point, like you said with this podcast, that like if you gave that up, that would be like a big portion of your passion just out the window. And that's why you keep doing it. And that's why I keep doing what I do. And I think that's so important, even if it's scary, even if it's, you know, unclear. I think, like, you know, why would I run back to a place that doesn't value me, doesn't bring me the joy of stepping foot in it, when I could maybe make a little bit less money and be a little bit more scared and unclear, but I get to be excited every day, you know?
I spoke to a 22-year-old the other day who had a strikingly similar story to mine, because he was he's studying to be a paramedic, and I was 2 years into a paramedic degree when I was 21 or 20, and I just could tell that it wasn't for me. So I was left and didn't have anything figured out. And I tried to assure that to him. I said, man, you're lucky you don't know what you want to do, because you are young and you haven't you haven't pigeonholed yourself into a career where you can't go back. Because I see that with a lot of my friends, they're like, they can't take a risk. So I assured him of the fact that it's okay. But it's got me thinking there's probably a lot of other people your age that are out there that are lost. So with what you've just said, what would be your advice to them?
Wherever you're at right now, it's important to just try new things. I think we've all got enough time. We say we don't, but we do. Like, just whatever it is, try it. I think just saying yes for a lot of the time when you're young is so important, because you figure out what you don't like. And when you figure out what you don't like, you know, it only leaves you with, you know, what you like. So it's so important to just figure out stuff that, you know, you don't like, and that's through failing, that's through messing up and probably hurting yourself as well. So and I've done a lot
I
of
remember
that.
you saying, you said you never know what you can do until you try, and very few try unless they have to.
Wow.
Maybe you didn't say that. Maybe that's a quote that I found, but I've got it in bold.
I'll take that one.
I've got it in, I think I actually found that one, but I saw that
Yeah.
one and I've got it in bold, potentially for a reason.
Can you repeat that for me?
You never know what you can do until you try, and very true. You never know what you can do until you try, and very few try unless they have to.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get out there. Just like, yeah. Well, it was such a big contrast with the Woolworths job and what I like doing, because at least I knew that like making videos and stuff like that, and going out and running or exploring was a lot more fun. Some people don't have that and they can't see the contrast. But, you know, taking yourself out or taking yourself into new skills and looking at what your friends are doing and being inspired by them as well, you know, can lead you in any direction. And I don't think, you know, I have a lot of different passions now, but there's something out there as well that I don't know about that I can be just as passionate about. I don't think, you know, you're destined to be that one person that like does the one thing that's so miraculous. You know, you've got many things that you don't know about yet, and they're just waiting for you. I mean, you just got to go out there.
On the topic of destiny, your mum described you as a
Oh, wow. Here we go.
pretty special kid, in the sense that I think she said at kindergarten, everyone was sort of observant of what you were doing. I don't know if you can remember that.
No.
Yeah, but they were wondering what you were going to get up to almost, because you just came in and you just knew what you wanted to do. So you just mentioned the word destiny before, but it sounded like you were a naturally curious kid.
I don't know too much about when I was a kid. I can't really remember that stuff. But upon reflection of the things I've done in my teenage years, I guess, or maybe probably after high school, there's like a common theme of me not really thinking too much about the decisions that I want to make and instead just going and doing them. I think that's it's probably not a skill you're born with. Like, you can easily develop, you know, action and courage. It just takes like building blocks. Maybe I was born with a little bit more, I don't know. But yeah, like things like just buying a van in like the space of a month and completely decking it out for me to leave exactly after year 12 exams. That's probably a good example of the fact that, you know, I have an idea. Let's just go and do it. Let's go take some action on it, because I think, yeah, a lot of people listen to the podcast and listen to all sorts of things and have the inspiration and have the motivation. But when it comes down to actually going and doing it, like, it's a whole different ball game.
What did that trip tell you or teach you about yourself?
Well, a lot of patience. Van broke down about 3 times, got a new engine, ended up staying in a motel for a long time. And that was a whole journey in itself. But yeah, I think that was a funny time, because I almost felt invincible then. And that's probably like not a great thing to be like. I mean, it's great, it's good, but like at the same time, you're not invincible. And when you're coming out of high school, you know, the world's your oyster. And I thought I was invincible and, you know, had all the confidence in the world, and then came back and something bad happened, and then like the world just like flipped upside down, sort of thing. So yeah, it was good, because then I became more level-headed with the whole situation on the back end of that trip. So yeah.
You said before you made a few mistakes throughout your life. Are you comfortable talking about them?
Yeah, there's not too many big mistakes. But we can dive into some. If I can remember.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you say that?
Oh wow. Mistakes. I'm thinking relationships, but I don't really want to get into that too much.
That's fine. Yeah.
No, I don't have any drastic ones that I think are pivotal. I think learnings from doing things is more what I've sort of figured out. And then the mistakes that come with that, like it's not a drastic mistake but it's almost like, I'm not the best at the things I've done. And then I learn from, not being very good and then just getting a little bit better or piecing together things that I've done through that.
You hard on yourself?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, my dad has an incredible work ethic, which like I never really tell him, but I just look at him and I'm like, mate, you never really talks about it, never really tells anyone to work as hard, I guess. But when it comes to it, I just see him, you get up, 6:30, go to work, come back, 5, rinse and repeat. And like, there's no real like break or day off. You just slug it out and you just go.
Do you think that's rubbed off on you in a way?
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, I think so. But in a good way. I think I'm pretty aware of like the creative side of what I do requires a lot of exploration, a bit of downtime, a bit of like, you need to recharge to get inspired and to get more ideas. So, I really value going out and doing things and having fun and being inspired by the world, if you can call that work. But yeah, when it comes down to nutting out like a few tasks, I'll sit there just like you will go all night. So
yeah, I just got that flashback to what we spoke about, the 22-year-old. It doesn't have to be 22. It could be anyone.
Yeah,
that's lost.
Well,
Just follow what you love.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing for me started with a photo of a steak. And now we're here. And I don't want to bring it back to me in a way, but I guess it's trying to draw comparison to what you've done in your journey compared to mine. And I mean, I remember you saying, I used to film skate videos because I loved it. And then I filmed adventure videos because I loved it. And now I film videos for my jewelry brand for a run club because I love it. You might be able to see the trend of what's happening here. And it's like you've tried so many things in your life. And whilst at the core of it, there's an element of uncertainty, it's helped get you to where you are today. And I think that's what people who are in the thick of things and aren't sure of what's going on, that's the best part, in my opinion, because it's almost like the story that you will one day tell. And yeah, what you said before about the path being uncertain, you don't have to have it all figured out. Yeah. And it'll take time.
Yeah, time.
And when it clicks,
a lot of time.
When it clicks, you'll be like, wow, that was the best. But when you're in the thick of it, and perhaps that's the sweet spot between taking the plunge and doing what you've done, just quitting, and staying there. Someone said to me the other day, the biggest risk is actually not quitting, because then you'll never be sure. And I think I remember you saying something similar to that. Yeah.
Well, that instantly brings to mind, like, when you're on your deathbed, what are you gonna be thinking, or what are you gonna be telling your children and your grandchildren? And I think that's such an important thing. I've written out my eulogy for what I want someone else to say about me. And, you know, I thought it was a good idea because, well, I heard it from someone, but to like backwards plan your life almost and say, like, where do you want to be when you're about to die?
Do you think about your mortality a lot?
Not a super amount, but yeah, sometimes. And I think there's been a lot of times that I've actually thought like if I died tomorrow, I'd be okay with it because, you know, the things that just pursuing what you love, like, or pursuing, like just taking the steps that just feel so liberating. You're almost like, I could die happy. Like this is what life's all about. Like I'm really going after the things that I love doing. And that makes me so sure of myself and so okay that I could literally die tomorrow.
Have you read out the eulogy before?
I haven't. It's stuck on my bedroom window.
What inspired you to do that?
Would have been a podcast. Yeah, someone must have said it. Can't remember who, but
Was it a guy who has cystic fibrosis out of interest? Bradley Dryburgh?
No, I haven't heard of him.
Okay, well, he read out his three mates read out a eulogy.
Right.
And they all read out their eulogy.
Okay.
On a podcast. I just
For
thought
themselves.
That might have been it. Yeah, they all wrote one and then
Cool.
read it out on a podcast.
Cool. Great idea.
Yeah.
For anyone listening. Yeah.
Was it
great
daunting?
idea.
Not daunting, but
No,
you
it
said-
was exciting.
Yeah, I
it
was
was
gonna
actually
say.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're writing things, so I'm assuming if you were writing all of that, you were almost writing it in a way that describes the future version of yourself that you aren't yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's perhaps a representation of the person you are wanting to become. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's 100% it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, your legacy. What do you want to be known for? And it doesn't have to be one thing. And I just made a video yesterday. Should be out by the time this is up, but I talk about these hats, which is like, you know, I just call them a grandpa hat. And I had this thing that like I'm going to be in my prime years of life will be as a grandpa. So like I'm excited to grow up basically. And it's like a liberating thought that you can be so excited to almost what people say would be wither away. I'm more excited to go into life, and that doesn't take away from these years. Like I'll still be as present as possible and excited for my 20s and my 30s, but you know, there's so much to live. Like, you know, if I'm 60, 70, like why should I be like, you know, life sort of, I can't do this and I can't do that. But it's more like, you know, you got so much else to live for. We'll get there when we get there, but you know, it's an exciting thing that I've been thinking about.
You said present as possible. Is that something you struggle with at the moment?
Sometimes. I think through the use of like my journaling system, my sort of tracking system, that it's brought me back to what I'm doing every day. And it's good to just keep a recollection of like, you know, even if you remember a day for one thing, like some people can't even remember what they ate for dinner last night. So I think it's so important to be like, you know, what was your favorite part of that day? And if you don't have anything that's your favorite, what was the worst part of the day? What was something that, you know, is so important throughout each day? And if you write that for every day, I think you're more present than most people are. And you can actually, or at least for that 5-10 minutes that you do it.
Do you remember the last thing you wrote?
Yes. Yeah, it was a meeting with the Run Club boys. There's 4 of us, and that's a complete passion project right now. It's quite exciting because we're slowly building up, but yeah, jumping on a call with them, that's like, you know, that Christmas morning feeling. That's like, oh my God, what are we building here? What are we doing? Where do we go? So many questions. But yeah, it's good.
What does it mean from your perspective to unlock your superpowers? I know you've spoken about it
that was a
before.
big one. That was a big theme. Like, I don't know if I guess for me is probably like the superpower is literally just you. It's nothing outside of what you have right now. It's just all like in here. You just gotta, unlock it, basically, just find it. And whether that's, probably mine is just through passions and doing things that I like doing, and that brings out the best in me. Like that makes me want to work harder, like collaborate with people, sit down at a table and eat a steak with a bloke who I've never met before. Like it just brings so many new opportunities and new experiences. I think that's probably the biggest one. Like I just love to throw myself in new experiences because I know like it's uncomfortable, it's scary. Like I was obviously feeling like I don't belong on a podcast, but I said like I can gain so much more if I just do it rather than being like, I'm sick.
Why did you have that feeling? Because that's something I was going to ask, because your response to me when I messaged you was, mate, you want me on a podcast, even though I thought I was fairly clear.
Yeah, right.
When I said,
could have been a scammer.
Basically inviting you on the
mate.
podcast. And then you said, mate, you want me on a podcast. So I assumed that, I was a bit shocked. I was like, I was rereading my message. I was like, wasn't I clear?
Second guess myself.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, of course, I'd love to, because it's a curiosity thing for me as well. But what were you feeling when I actually asked you?
Pretty shocked. I mean, I listened to a few podcasts, so I don't know what people's first experiences are for, their first podcast. But, I wasn't, it's like one of those things that you'll never feel ready where you're like, oh, I'm going on a podcast. What do I talk about? Like, who am I? Do I have enough to say?
I feel that as well.
Yeah.
Even though I'm the one asking the questions, but I feel like that's what's caused me to do so many in a relatively short period of time, is because there's something, that I want to get out almost.
Yeah.
But that feeling never leaves me. Like I'm sitting here, you know what I thought about just before? Quite an intrusive thought. I think as I'm mid-conversation and I'm like scrambling, because my brain's like going a million miles per hour, I'm like thinking, what do I ask next? And then I immediately go back to times where I haven't known what to say. And I don't take I don't take the pauses out. But there have been moments, intrusive moments, where I'm like, I don't know what to say. Oh no, it's going to be the worst conversation ever. And I'm like midway through the conversation when that happens.
Yeah.
But sorry, I just took it away from what you were saying.
No, that's okay. I think what you said on that call that we had about everyone has a story to tell, that gave me a bit of confidence. And then I had a chat with a few other people who reaffirmed that, like, mate, you've got plenty to tell. Like, don't worry. And then that led to a lot of reflection on almost like, the past couple of years of, what I've actually achieved. And not that I'm coming on here to just flex all the achievements that, I've done, because I haven't worked any of it out. I'm still in the process, but it's really, really nice to have a bit of gratitude and reflection on, just some achievements, and, you do have a story to tell.
What is the most pivotal moment from that past 2 years? Or do you think it's an accumulation of good moments?
Yeah,
or bad moments?
That's funny. I'd say the pivotal moment is probably, I was hoping you would ask this question actually, because it's one thing that I don't really tell people. I did a 200-hour yoga teaching course in Thailand.
Yeah, heard about this.
Have you?
Yeah, Mum.
Oh, wow. She's
see what she said.
She's spilling the beans. Does she have it?
I think I wrote it all down.
Wow,
He said he's very creative, come up with wild ideas. And pack your bag. Yeah, but keep going.
So yeah, I went with my ex. It was more her idea to do that, but I was in the stage where I was probably like felt the least like myself, and just was like honestly scared of the world. It was probably like one of the darkest times.
What was scary about it?
Went through a really emotionally bad breakup with an ex. And, you know, heartbreaks are different for everyone, but it like completely 180'd my life from being that person who takes action on their ideas and has a lot of ideas and wants to have fun and try new things to just being closed off to the world and just being scared and being not confident in who I was. But going overseas and doing like a teacher training course, it was almost like school. It was school, but like for adults and for yoga. And it wasn't the yoga side of things. I don't practice anymore. I more went down the alleyway of running and strength training, but it retaught me how to learn properly. I think that was the biggest one. It was something about the community there. You spend 3 weeks with just random people that rock up. And there was me and this other guy called Kel, and he was from Wales, and he's doesn't like to say he's from Wales because he's from everywhere. He's just a nomad. He just country to country. Like this bloke is, it felt like almost the universe just sent him in and was just planted me this guy that I needed at that exact time to liberate me and make me feel like, you know, like it's fine. Like you can be yourself. Like you're not going to be confident all the time, but you know, you just have to live. And I can't even explain it. Like it was just 3 weeks of, I was just like looking at this guy. I'm like, dude, like you were exactly what I need like right now. So like, thank you. And I came back home and felt that real sense of like community and like almost just like wanted to put myself out there again. And I went back to uni and I just remember like just throwing myself at things and putting my hand up and being the guy who's first to talk and just being a bit like, you know, like people would probably just look at you and be like, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? But I think that's so important because they want to do that. And I think if you can, like it wasn't easy and it never is to throw yourself in first. But I think it's so important. Like if you can muster up the balls to just throw yourself in the deep end, like people might look at you, but most of the time they're wishing they did that. Like, you know, that awkward silence as the teacher asks like that question and everyone's like, who the fuck's going to answer first? If you just chuck up your hand and have a stab, like no one can hate you for that. You're better off doing it than not if you want to.
So true.
Yeah.
I had a 41-year-old say to me, I'm jealous of you. You're 29, you got no kids, no debt, and you're going out and following your dreams. Your mum said you came back. I'm just going to find where I said it, where she wrote, did a yoga training session, learned a lot about himself. He questioned a lot of things. And you came back a different person and he was much more open-minded. What did you learn about yourself? I know you sort of said it before. But what do you think was the main learning from yourself on that trip?
The main learning was how to learn. The main learning was, I think that was it. Like the curiosity side of things, like you said, it's so liberating to be curious and you know it because you know how it feels to want to do this podcast because you're so curious about it and these people and like, what do they have to say? And that's how I felt about everything when I came back. I was so curious on like, you know, the typical, what is the meaning of life? Like, and I think like that's almost like a midlife crisis type thing. I was having like a quarter life crisis maybe, but the earlier you can have that, the better, because, you know, if you're starting to question like why we do these things and, you know, because, you know, when you zoom out, we're just a little ant in the universe and it's like, you know, why is there so much stress on like the 9 to 5 stuff and all this, and we won't get down that rabbit hole, but
be a long time.
Yeah, it's so, yeah, it's liberating to be curious. And that was probably, I came back with that, and like, thank God I did, because if I went down the route of just not feeling like I'm myself the whole time, which I probably would have if I didn't go to Thailand and do that whole course, I don't know where I'd be. And thank God I could come back and be so excited to start to question everything and start to want to learn. Because I think if you stop learning throughout life, you may as well be dead.
Does that get tiring if you're questioning everything? Not tiring, but
it
overwhelming.
does.
Okay.
It does, yeah. And I think, me and Mum had a lot of conversations in that time, and I probably don't have too many of them or as much anymore, because you can go in circles all day of like, it's the phase of like before you take the action, getting the inspiration and the motivation of like, what is the purpose? What do I want to do? And it's like, it's good to ponder on those things. It's great. Like, you need to sit in that bit for a while and work out, what am I really passionate about? Why do I do these things that I do? But the biggest thing is like going out and trying what it is that you wish you did, I guess. Yeah.
Do you think about what your life looks like in blocks? Like, because it sounds from everything I've learned about you, very regimented and deep thinker. Do you think about what your life looks like when you're perhaps my age, 29, 40, 50? Or do you think it's better to not be sure?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could take a guess, but it's going to be very different to what I guess. I guess what I've told a few people, or like, the teachers or the people that ask you what you want to do when you grow older, I've always just told them that I want to work in a smaller business, or like just a group or a community that is working towards something that, fulfills me. And I think right now I'm getting pretty close, or I might even be fulfilling that. Obviously not too much of an income through it, but if I can make it sustainable, I think like everything after that is just a bonus.
I've got a question here, and it says, even in the confusion, is there a part of you that still believes something better is possible? And obviously I think that's almost an easy question. Do you think if you find that moment though, you'll still be wondering? Or the fact you're coming close?
Yeah. I'll always be wondering. I reckon, yeah.
That's why I asked.
I'm going to get to 29 and I'm going to feel the exact same way as you. I don't think like, we're human. Nothing's going to be clear. And like you go into business calls and meetings wanting to sound clear, but no one actually has a fucking clue. And that's fine. That's like, I'm okay with that, because like the more you can accept that, honestly, the more confident you can be in yourself and throughout your life. And then that just rubs off on people, that you're not coming across as arrogant or a cocky prick. You're actually just being real.
Do you think you're confident in yourself?
Yeah. I'd say majority of the time I am. Majority of the time I back myself to do things. Yeah.
Majority.
Yeah.
What happens when you're not?
I almost have to like dig for a bit of evidence, I reckon. Like it's tough. Like life just comes in fucking waves, and it's just like, you can't escape sometimes feeling like you're like, what am I doing? Like, is this really, why did I choose this? But yeah, you have to remind yourself or do something, or get out and just either clear the mind or just remind yourself through what you've done.
Build a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
Have you heard that quote?
Yes. Love it. Brick by brick. Yeah.
What happens if someone feels like they can't find any evidence and they're questioning all the things that we've spoken about today? Yeah.
Start from the start. Like, you know, I'd say the biggest thing would be what we said before, like the curiosity. I think if you can, like, you're not going to feel curious all the time, but if you can feel more curious than not, you're going to be set up for a pretty abundant life of experience and knowledge and, you know, understanding, I guess. Like you can meet so many different people and do so many different things if you're just excited to say yes to random things.
Starting from the start can come with the feelings that you spoke about before of being lost and feeling scared nonetheless. What do you think has been the main learning from those underlying feelings? Because those feelings, they come and go, I suspect. You've got periods where everything's just, I think, wait, you have a sister? I think your mum said that your sister just, everything just seems to fall into place for him.
Right.
That's what your mum said. I'm not sure if that's how you see it. Everything you touch seems to turn to gold. But you've still got that. And I'm just telling, I'm the messenger here.
Yeah.
I'm not this. You might not see it this way.
No.
Yeah. That's fine. That's not true.
No.
But
go on.
You know, like those feelings of being scared and everything. Like sometimes when things are going well, like I'm sort of in the background saying, you know, but I felt like this not long ago. Like it's coming. Like something. It can't always be this good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like there's always just going to be confusion. Like there isn't. A lot of the things that I look back on with starting the jewelry business and like mainly that, I think you question a lot of the decisions you made. And like I've only been doing it for a year, but I've learned so much in the process. But there's a lot of things that have happened and I look back and I'm like, you know, I probably should have just put a lot more thought into that specific decision that led me down that avenue. And the thing is, like, I value the fact that I just went and did it anyways. And it's more, you'd probably better off just giving it a crack. And if you look back at it and you're like, that was kind of cringe, that was kind of not exactly what I was trying to get out of it, but you still have something to show, it's more important than just like obviously not doing it at all. And you could sit there wondering what it could have been. But it gives me so much room for growth now that I've done the beginner level 1 stuff. And now it's time to level up and I'm still confused. But I have the knowledge of like, I don't want to do that because that led me down that way. And maybe I didn't think about it enough. So I need to put more thought into this next time round that I do it. And that's sort of in broad terms. But if you want to talk about it in terms of the jewelry making side of things, it's just designing and making product. Like, you know, why did I choose to go down that route of, you know, my niche of whatever, you know?
Why did you?
I think I was just excited to make everything, and I didn't really know what I wanted to make. And now I'm in a position where I have the skills to almost make anything. So it's like, what do I make? That's an exciting position to be in because it opens up the world. But yeah, I think to wrap it all back into the question, the confusing parts never really leave, but you do build up that bank of evidence that makes me believe that, you know, it doesn't have to be as confusing if you've got things that have already been done and you can continue on.
Yeah. That whole proof thing, man, it's so true. Like I said before, that whole doubting thing about why I've done so many of these, it's like there's like a feeling of like I'm almost not enough.
Mm.
Do you feel that as well?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the time actually.
Mm.
It's a pretty normal thing for someone who's, or I feel I can relate to, maybe even if it's online, but also a lot of friends who have the same feelings that they're, you know, chasing after something, but when do you sort of become that guy that is like the guru, or like what amount of money do you have to make to feel like you're that guy? Yeah, I guess I know that it's never gonna come around until I genuinely just feel like I'm worth it. And I do have self-confidence, so I'm not struggling with this all the time, but it is a thought that pops up into my head, and it's pretty normal for someone who's trying to just grow as much as they can. And, you know, I'm only 22, so sometimes you think, what do I know? And especially when you're talking to people a bit older than yourself. But, you know, I still like to view people as just another guy or just another human. Or,
So true.
and, you know, it doesn't devalue what you bring to the table or what, you know, a 60-year-old would bring to the table. But, you know, and I don't want to overstep and say like, oh, I know more than you. I just want to be like, you know, I've got a different perspective. I've got a different opinion. And that's valuable as well.
Doing this has certainly made that viewpoint, or reaffirmed that, in the sense that I know that I've perceived some of my guests in a particular light or a particular way. And I think social media is pretty good at doing that.
Like, have you put them on a pedestal? Or?
Yeah, for sure. And when you sit down, you get worked up. Like, I remember this one that I did. Like, I was flustered for 5 minutes, and I don't think they picked up on it. Okay. But I could feel my face like being really red.
Yeah.
And 50 minutes in, or an hour, I think that conversation went for an hour and a half.
Wow.
Like, I was just like, we're just conversing. Like, we're, you know, there's nothing different between me and you. And I think that's a great way to, sort of what you just said before. I think doing something like this is perfect for that. You said before that something about challenges. What do you think the main challenge is for you mentally then at the moment?
Mentally.
Not even mentally, just in general.
Just in general, just navigating a way to make what I do more sustainable financially, because that's just a reality. And, you know, how do you turn these passions into sustainable income? That's probably my biggest concern, or my biggest challenge that I'm trying to overcome. And look, I have a lot of faith that, you know, you put yourself out there, the opportunities will come, and I'm going to do my best to create those opportunities through just staying consistent and hopefully showing up and, you know, saying yes to opportunities like this and just, you know, having fun.
I think it's interesting because something like this, you know, you just never know. You're never sure which opportunity to say yes to is going to be the needle mover. I don't think, unfortunately, potentially, maybe if I was a bigger podcast, but you never know. Like, there are some podcasts, if you go on, like, you know, the whole world opens up. But I've said yes to a lot of things, and looking back on them, you're almost like, I sort of wish I didn't do that. But it's giving you the foresight of what to say yes to in the future. So in return, I guess it has been a value add. And I look at some of the things that I've done and I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But if I didn't go through that, then I wouldn't have the foresight that I've got now.
Yeah.
So you're still climbing the Mount Everest then?
Oh, mate.
You're still on the way?
Yeah, still on the way. That was my goal for this year, but everything got flipped on its head.
Is that hard?
No, it's exciting. It's turned out to be like something I probably would never have even thought of to happen.
Mm. And that's, I'm assuming, the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, basically off the one post, I gained about 15 to 20,000 followers. Just one post on an account that I don't really post content on, which is crazy. Like that's what social media can do for you if you just put yourself out there.
Have you got a lot of people messaging and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. A lot of people, which is pretty awesome. Like I've gotten a lot of messages with people, you know, inspired and, you know, they're trying things for themselves and yeah, for context, it's the habit tracker monthly. And
talk to me about that.
Well, yeah, it's just like another thing that I was never going to post about it, but then I put it on my story and someone was like, dude, you should make a video on this. I want to do this. And I do have a Post-it note stuck on my wall that says, if people keep asking about it, make a video on it. So I'm like, you know, I'll just do it. I'll just post it on my personal account, which had like, you know, 1,200 followers. And yeah, in a week that got to like 1 million views.
What's it at now?
3 point something million and climbing, just keeps going. But like, you know, it's crazy what social media can bring. I
don't know, like, because I've had a few go like that, and you can't really describe it until you go through it. Hey,
yeah,
like it's one of those things where, like, I look at some people and I'm like, far out. They must feel so good because all their posts go really well. But I don't know, like it's such an up and down thing, like what we spoke about before. Like it doesn't fulfill you as much as you perhaps think it would. Do you find that as well?
I've had countless interactions with friends and just friends and family, I guess, of like, you know, they obviously expect me to be like, oh, this is unreal. And obviously it opens the doors to so many more opportunities. And like, you know, you get perceived as a bit more of a legitimate creator.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, you know, this is not like, it's just numbers. Like at the end of the day, you know, I did value the 100 and something likes and the 3 comments that I got on those smaller videos, because they would stick around and they'd be there every time, and you sort of like value that small community, and then you blow up and it's like, I can't even read all these comments. There's like, and like that's a first world problem, but it sort of like takes the human element out of it. And now I'm sort of feel like I'm after the numbers, or I'm watching the numbers, and it was never about that. Like back to when we, you know, first had the first conversation in this podcast, it was never about that. It was making and documenting and creating, and that's all it ever was. And I really hope that, you know, this new chapter of what I'm doing stays that way, because that's the most important thing.
I saw you brought your diary here or something. Why do you find the need to document everything on paper as opposed to digitally?
I refine all my ideas on a digital thing, but I think having something, there's something about like, you know, writing something on pen and paper that you can't really like describe it. It's just satisfying. It's like, it's human. You feel like I don't know how to describe it, but it's really a lot nicer to sit on a train ride and write on a pen and paper than scroll through your phone. And it almost forces you, or it gives you an opportunity to think of ideas that you wouldn't have otherwise. Like if you obviously have a bit of downtime, but you have your phone or a journal and a pen, I'll take the journal and pen and try and draw something, or try and think of something different.
You said that oftentimes for you, the ideas come at the weirdest times.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think you said in your habit tracker thing that you said you only had 6 hours and 20 minutes sleep as well. Are you fine? That makes me think, and I'm not, you know, I didn't even look too closely at how much sleep you were having, but it makes me think that your mind is just constantly on.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's probably not the best. I think the best ideas I feel like they come in waves as well. Like I'll have a serious bit of like actioning in my life, and then it'll come with like a bit of a sit down, have ideas part of my life. Like there's different waves, and sometimes I don't have an idea for a week or two, or a good one.
I find, and I don't know if you can relate, that a lot of my ideas just aren't possible at the moment. Do you struggle with that? And I say not possible because they require a team.
Yeah.
They require hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, when I say hundreds of thousands, you know, because the best in the world at what I do, they have, I think Chris Williamson, for one of his episodes, I think he might have said something along the lines of $30,000 to $40,000 to set up all the cameras and do all that sort of stuff. But the sponsors sort of cover it all. So I think of that and I'm like, how can I replicate that? And then you look at how much the setup actually cost, like where he's actually having it. Because I think he got something like the best cinematic cameras in the world and hired them for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I find and I look at some ideas that I've got at the moment, and sometimes they can be perceived as a negative for me because they perhaps reinforce just how far away everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you got to remind yourself that, you know, you do have enough right now. Like it's possible to, you know, you look at some small creators and they're doing things like some insane things with just a camera and a tripod. And, you know, like it makes it easier if you have a team and the best quality cameras, but at the base of it, it is the idea. And in the case of content creation, it is what you say and how you can relate to people. And I think that's the most important bit. Can people feel something? Can people extract something? Can they have value in this? Like, you know, that's all that I really think about when I'm trying to come up with ideas for what to post.
You said that it was bad before, that your mind's...
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Takes away from, you know, the downtime that's so important.
Yeah.
And like still live at home and still am around the family a lot, and we eat dinner every night, like at the table if we can. And that's like so important for us, even though we don't really like glamorize it. Sometimes we don't even talk, but you know, it's just a ritual thing. But you know, I feel like I'm just constantly working throughout, and then when it comes to that time of downtime and when it comes to the time of decompress, I just like, I've worked myself to the bone. So I'm not like the best person or the best person to be around or the most talkative person. And you know, when you're always in work mode, you're not expressing yourself creatively. I mean, you are through your work, but you know, through the ideas and like just living and just frolicking around, you're not, you know, as open. Yeah. So it's important. It's important.
Yeah, because I'm in work mode a lot, but I don't really do. My view of it all is almost just say no to everything. But I don't know. I don't know if that's a good solution to it all. It's more just if you accept, or if you say things to things that don't energize you, and you say yes to enough of those things, you will be resentful almost in a way. So I've just really just tried to say yes to things that I really want to do at the moment. Is that what you're sort of trying to say there?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I value that downtime is very important. And I probably don't get enough of it, and I don't take myself away because I've almost transformed my hobbies into what I want to do as a career. And, you know, that puts added pressure on, like, will this work out and stuff. But what used to be downtime is now like almost a job. And that's a whole different like area of struggle. But yeah, somehow getting away from all the things that you call work has been like something I wish I could do more of almost.
Why do you say that?
Because it makes me a better person to be around. And I think it makes me, it's the curious side that like comes out. Because if I can become very routine and like rhythmic. Is that a word? Yeah.
Regimented.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
So I fall into these habits, and there's nothing bad with having a routine, but you know, it can kill creativity and curiosity. And yeah, you do end up working yourself to the bone and saying no because you got no fucking time. And so yeah, I freeing up some time and just being bored or being like adventurous is like probably something I need to do more of. And that's why I'm probably going away to just go do that and just not have an expectation on working and having that routine of doing something.
You said to me on the phone, it would be interesting to perceive your mindset today as opposed to Sunday after what you've got coming up. Why did you say that?
Just wanted to see if anything changes on, I guess, the way I view hard things and even the way I view this event coming up on Sunday. So
what do you think would change? Or when you think, see if anything changes, like what do you mean by that? Like your view on challenges, okay?
Yeah. Well, nothing drastic. I just think I want to hear myself before it to gauge, you know, if we were going to talk about the topic of doing these hard things and these silly challenges of running 100K. I just want to hear myself speak about it beforehand to, reflect upon it.
I think we need to talk about it then.
I think we do, yeah. This Sunday, 100 kilometers around an athletics track.
What's the date today?
The date is 26th, 29th, inbound. Yeah. Something I'm pretty confident about, to be honest.
What made you want to do it?
Natural progression of running. I've done a half marathon, a couple marathons, like a multi-day event and an ultra. And now I just need to sort of tick the box on this 100.
Do you think this will be the biggest challenge of them all?
Yeah. I think just for the fact that it's around a 400 meter track adds an element of just mental struggle.
Will you be documenting it?
Yeah, I'm going to get my friend down. He'll film majority of it. But yeah, 4 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Wow. It's
going to be one hell of a challenge.
What are you feeling?
The more I get to it, obviously, the more nervous. I don't know, the feelings come up. But for the past 3-4 weeks, I felt really confident in almost envisioning me at a certain marker and just like absolutely loving how much pain I'm in. It's, yeah. I don't know. This is such a weird journey with running, and it sort of ties in well with everything else, but it doesn't really make any sense, but it does, because it's just like another one of those things that running speaks about life in so many ways of just, you know, one foot in front of the other. And when it gets tough, you just got to keep stepping, just keep going, like whatever it takes.
I look at a lot of these people that have done challenges and they've all gone through like immense struggle. But I can't think of anything in your life that has motivated the desire to push yourself and challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Would you say that differently?
No, I made a video recently saying, you know, I haven't, my running story is quite boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you would love to come onto a podcast and tell about the depths of the struggle you've been through, but I haven't. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been, pretty linear. I've had a couple injuries along the way, but nothing that has taken me out of the game.
What's pushing you to keep, stepping up then?
Just the love for it. Like I said, it feels like it's innately part of life, even though it's probably like, to run 100 Ks is like, no one needs to do that. Like, let's not think that that's normal, but
I'm definitely not going to join you, mate.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Come for a couple laps at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like it's another way of expressing like hard work or like pursuing what you love, because it's just, like I said, it's one foot in front of the other, and it's always going to get hard, whether you're doing 10K or whether you're doing 30 or 100. It's just like, your legs get tired and, it's tough. Like, it is just tough. And there's something so simple about it as well that, like, to me, it's just so, I don't know, invigorating. It makes me feel so good.
You've mentioned before that it's so important to capture the bad ideas to understand what a good idea is.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that's a good idea?
Well, it could be a bad one.
Yeah.
It could be. It sounds like a terrible one, and it might well go down in the history books as a bad one. But hopefully it'll lead me to a good idea. I'm not saying this is a good idea,
Sure.
but it's something that, like, I've had on my bucket list for a while, and as I said, I'm confident, I'm excited. It's like one of those things that you just, the Christmas morning feeling. So why not? Like,
do you think you'll finish that and then want something else?
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Probably not. I think the last time I did an event, which was like last September, I was chasing that and I jumped straight into something else. And I think that's a pretty normal thing for people to do, goal to goal. And then after that, I was like, no, like, I'm not going to throw myself into something again. Like, it's silly. Like, I love this for what it is, not for the goals that I set and like these big accolades. And I talk about being grateful in the process, instead of gritting your teeth, in like these big training blocks and prepping yourself to get ready to run 100K. And if you can put yourself in that position of actually waking up at the crack of dawn and it's freezing cold, but you still love it anyways, and you're like, how lucky am I? Like, what a privilege this is to be doing this. You realize just how magical, like, what you're doing in this lead up to this 100K is, that, the people don't see that big training block. That's where all the magic is. Like, I think, the 100K, that's why I'm going in so confident, is because, everything in there, I've just proven to myself that I am capable and, I love this. So if I am in the depths of fucking hell, I can just relay back to that feeling of like, hang on, this is a privilege. Like, why, like, why would I stop? Like, I've set out to do this. I'm confident I'm going to get it done. So yeah, that's been a big game changer in the way that instead of jumping goal to goal, it's almost like that in between phases from goal to goal is the most important bit. And then that's why I live for it. Week to week, day to day, hour to hour.
You love it for what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. Yeah.
That goes back to sort of what we've been speaking about. It's like you're finding things that you just love and giving them, you're essentially going all in on your ideas, not ideas, the things that you love.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I think that's something we didn't touch on before, that I don't know if people can do that. And I think,
Why do you think that?
it's from what I've seen, and I don't like to, I've never been the one to tell people to go and do this, or you like, you know, you just got to like, you know, I just like to inspire others just by doing my thing and doing what I do. And it's like you see a lot of people start something but then don't follow through. And I try my hardest to stay accountable in those things. Like if I put myself out there that I'm going to do this, like I'm going to try.
It's so important.
It's like, and yeah, I see it too often that people will take the first step and then back away. And it's great to take the first step. I think the first step is most important, but you need to build the thoughts around that first step, that first idea to make sure that you follow through, because I think following through is the ugly side of things that no one actually wants to do. And it's just like sticking with it when it doesn't even make sense.
Do you feel alone sometimes?
Oh yeah. I come down. I come out from the shed of like just being out there for like 6-7 hours, and I'll just be like, fuck me, I'm so lonely.
Dude.
It's an interesting one. But you know, there's obviously moments that come out of the shed and I'm like, I just fucking love it. Just like, it's so important though to be alone and to be okay with it.
I say that because I'm assuming you don't get energy from being in a loud place.
I found that like I am starting to with this run club.
Okay.
And
when I say loud place, I mean like a party, a bar, or a club.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
And sometimes, because that what you said before about that mindset, you know, you've positioned yourself in a way that makes me think that you're different to other people, and that when you're around people that aren't like you, it makes it hard to want to be there. So I go to bars sometimes. I just can't do small talk. I just don't even go anymore. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's on, and I resonate with you so much about pursuing things and seeing it through. Maybe it's for another conversation, but you know, that's been a lot of my journey as well. So I resonate with it a lot. But that's why I asked the alone question.
Yeah. I think, having this run club, Keka Run Club, is been a game changer. Like, I don't have to go out anymore and you know, drink alcohol and, you know, party to feel a sense of community or
belonging.
With my friends, and we've just built it from the ground up, and now there's just a community of people who are inspiring each other, which is like the craziest thing ever. And like, you know, when you do that, there's no ceiling anymore. You can just keep going up. And to build that, like, and not have to move away and go to like fucking Bali to go find your people, but just staying at home and just saying, you know what, I'm going to bring the community to me and build that, has been like even more of a confidence boost that, you know, it's like, this is just so exciting. Like I can't even sum it up into words.
Well, that makes me that's almost like what you said before about being alone. So you are you are surrounding yourself with people that perhaps are on a similar mindset. Is that what you think?
Yeah,
I think anyone that goes to anything like that are the type of people that you sort of want to hang around with.
Yeah.
Because they crave that. Oh, I don't know. You should put yourself out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think to sum it up, they just want a little bit more.
Yeah.
Or they want to just do something tough, and because they know what's coming on the other side. And if it's just a 5K run in the morning, like, surrounded by good people, it's not hard, but you feel so good on the other side. And when you get that, you realize like, oh, I just keep going for a bit more and a bit more. And you end up running, like, in terms of running, you end up running a half marathon, you end up running a marathon. You're like, wow, like, who would have thought that I could do this? And then when you get that thought of like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. What is possible? Then like the world is your oyster. And yeah, that's what I've seen happen with some people from the run club, from zero to absolute hero. And they're just taking the world by storm. And I just sit back and watch and I'm like, wow.
Inspiring stuff.
Yeah. And you want to go get after it in your spare time as well, and come back and like, you know, you're just sharing about, you know, like, what are you guys doing? And like, this is like awesome. And like, this is what I'm doing. And like, you're all just like, and you can like collaborate and you can sort of just converse on all these awesome things that, you know, you can do in life. And it's just inspiring to see that young people are around the area are actually, you know, taking charge of their life. And I love nothing more as well. So
you said something before about people wanting more. And I asked a question of someone who said something similar. Episode 53, I think it was. Mr. Thomas Bolt, Prime Train. And I asked him if there would ever be a level of contentment.
Yeah, it's right now. Like, it's not tomorrow, or it wasn't yesterday. It's literally right now.
He said there wouldn't be, but the best in the world always have that feeling. But my view of it all is that you do. Yeah, you need to soak it up now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Because that's literally the only time and place you, like, yeah, you can reflect back on things and be like, oh, that was so good then. But that's almost leaving you in a state of like, oh, it's not good now.
That whole document thing, what you said about your life, when I called my mum telling her about that deal I just told you about, I filmed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just on my AirPods. You can't even hear mum.
Okay.
But I was like, this will be cool one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not in the moment. And that's what I struggle with.
Right.
Like, I'm like, how is this cool right now? Like me sitting in my room. Maybe I'll just get a camera out and film and see what I say.
Yeah. It comes back to like the self-confidence of it all. Like, you know, you just got to accept who you are. And then, you know, if you do that, you might be able to reach a level of like acceptance or contentment with right now. And when you look in the mirror, you're like, you know what? This is like completely fine. I'm still going to wake up tomorrow and fucking go balls to the walls and get after it. But, you know, I'm good.
So you look at yourself in the mirror now and you're happy?
Yeah.
Was that always
not
the
all
case?
the time? Not all the time.
Okay.
And it's like we said with I'd be happy to die tomorrow sort of mentality. Yeah. That's not all the time, but, you know, I am pretty happy with what I've done for myself and like how I conduct myself throughout my days. And like, you know, there is always things you can do better, but, you know, as long as you're staying present and you're like just trying. And sometimes, you know, you won't give your family the most utmost respect that they deserve and what they've done for you. But, you know, you're trying, you're living and you're being human. So I try and cut myself some slack for that stuff and just be grateful for what I have right now.
It's hard though sometimes.
Oh, it so is.
And the family thing as well.
Yeah.
And your friends.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Like there's something more important. You know, that's what I say. I don't even say anything. I just say I can't go. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's getting a bit like that now.
That's why I asked the alone question as well.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of similarities between what you're going through or yeah.
But the thing is, you would have experienced so many different chapters up until where you are now. And it's like one set of friends is not going to cut it. And like, that's what people got to get through to themselves, that like, you know, their high school friends might not be the best friends for where they want to go next.
You seen that already?
Yeah, 100%. And don't get me wrong, they're great blokes, great people to be around. And I love it when we are together, but it's like, how do you catapult yourself into the next chapter of your life?
Yeah.
And sometimes it just doesn't work, and you have to just accept that you can't change them. And sometimes they don't want to change. So
You're the average of the 5 closest friends.
Hey,
Have you heard that one? You're the average of your 5 closest friends.
yeah. Well, you are your environment, and if you want to grow, you got to put yourself in a position or an environment with people that want to grow as well. I mean, you don't have to, but if you do, you'll have a better chance of getting to where you want to be. Yeah.
Have you got an idea of what your life looks like? I know we sort of touched on this before, but when you say 30.
30.
8 years.
I'm picturing like a warehouse, something going on in it. Don't want to reveal too many secrets. I'm not too sure, but hopefully like selling products, but something quality. Hopefully having my own team, or if not, working for a team that I really value. I think that's all it comes down to at the end of the day.
Is that in trading space or?
Yeah. So
seems like that's a big passion. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's not jewelry, it'll be something else. But I do really love hand making jewelry, and just, I've made a lot of rings for my friends, and you go on nights out and you see them wearing it. It's like the most, I don't know, like gratifying thing. You're like, wow, that looks sick on you. And you're just wearing it around. It's like it's a whole thing. Yeah.
It's been an amazing chat, man. Is there anything we haven't spoken about today that you want to touch on?
No, I'll have to come back. I'll have to come back and talk about it.
Round 2.
Yeah.
Next week after the run.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm ready to fucking go for that. But yeah, it'll be exciting to listen back and to hear what I have to say about that as well. But fuck yeah, I'm fired up.
What's your advice to anyone that just can't find something that they're excited about, or they have that willingness and that, because I get a lot of people ask me about content, like how to grow on content. And I actually, I think I know that I'm okay at, formulating a strategy and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you're just doing content and you're doing it authentically. And I enjoy doing it. And so my question for people that don't know that, and they're uncertain and they don't know what tomorrow looks like, and then, they're struggling, what would you say to them?
Go talk to strangers. Go sit down and eat a steak with a stranger.
I just realised you did a trip to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And bloody backpacked. Well, not backpacked. What is it?
No, I hitchhiked the whole country.
God, that's another conversation in itself.
That's a round 2 conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an experience. Yeah. But yeah, go talk to some strangers. You'll you're only one conversation away from changing your life, or one idea away from changing your life. So, just go out there and fucking embrace it.
You're wise beyond your years, mate. Hopefully this thing's still going in by the time you're 30, and we can look back on this and reflect on it. But
I'd love a T-bone next time.
T-bone?
T-bone.
I'm actually cooking some today. Yeah. Got this woman,
unreal.
her name's Helen, and she bought some of my tallow, and she put this post up of her dancing with my tallow. Got heaps of followers from it. So I was like, we'll do a video together. So I'm going to our house and cooking some T-bone after this. Mate, you're wise beyond your years, like I said. Like, I really do. Yeah, this is the exact reason almost why I started this. It's like I look at people's content and there's a story just in the content. And I got a story out of that one video you saw, or that I saw, which I think was the one that I first commented on.
Yep.
And that was funny how the algorithm sort of serves that sort of stuff, because it was months ago.
Yeah.
The one that I commented on.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. And that was that just popped up on my feed that day.
Wow.
And when I saw you in Melbourne, I reached out, and I'm so glad I did, because yeah, I really see value in talking to people like yourself that are on their path. And I just think there's so much value in it, because a lot of the people that go on podcasts these days are the people that probably in people's like our minds think they've got it all figured out. So to sit down with you today, mate, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. Can't wait to go and figure it out as well. So
I'm
I really appreciate it, mate.
No,
It's been a great chat. Yeah.
I've got a quote to end it, and I think your YouTube said just a bloke who's like grabbing life by the balls.
Yeah.
And I can certainly say you are doing that. But I was actually so tempted to read this this quote out earlier, because you mentioned something about not making mistakes. And I knew that I had this quote written down, and I like to sort of ease my way into a nice quote to end with like a bit of final wisdom. But I didn't read it out. I held my tongue because I thought it'd be a great way to end it. And it said, "You see, from my experience, I've never failed. Yes, I've fucked up. I've lost a bit of money and I've made plenty of mistakes, but I have failed because I continue, but I've never failed, because I continue to follow my passions," plural. And when you're in that position, you can only win.
Stand by it.
I guess that's been a good summary of this whole conversation.
Yeah. And we're winning because we're chasing after it. Absolutely love it.
So true. You went on to say, "And when we were on our deathbed, you and I can both say that we had a fucking crack."
Yeah. Fucking oath. That's such a great line. We're having a fucking crack. And we're going to have a fucking crack this Sunday as well. So
best of luck, brother. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Das.
So good.
Cheers, mate.
Fuck.
Well done, mate.
How long was that?
I'm not too sure. Wasn't kidding. Oh my God.